The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is the Eagle Sports Network. I am Danielle Whaley alongside Suzanne Strudwick, the head coach of the women's golf team. Quite a showing that the team had at the King Invitational, winning by 21, which was the strong start that I think you were absolutely looking for. What did you see from your team in that outing?
Yeah, just consistency. You know, I mean, we still have some issues that we can work on, believe it or not, but we always have a team meeting afterwards, so we talked about it. We identified some areas for the girls to work on this week where they can all improve individually, but in saying that, winning by 21 shots, as you said, is huge for us. Great confidence boost. The field was not certainly by any means the strongest that we're going to meet this year, but it's good to get the first one under the belt and win so decisively.
Absolutely, and it was a back-to-back win at King, winning last year. And for Elizabeth England, such
Correct.
a strong outing for her. It was the first time that she had to defend a title in a tournament. So how important is it to have that senior leadership from her on this team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it shows the hard work she's put in this summer, and that she just continued. It's always easy when you've had a really exceptional season to maybe kind of slack off a little bit and kind of think, I'm done, but no, not at all from Elizabeth. I mean, it shows she's put some work in this summer. She's still got the fire to want to improve, do better. I mean, at our very first team meeting, she says, my experience at regionals was awesome. I want you all there next year. So that just shows me the direction that she wants to go in, and she also wants to pull the team with her.
And one thing that she had talked about, and you had mentioned too, was improving the short game from that first day into the second day. That was one of the main things that really turned around to finish out that competition. So what are some key things that the team needs to work on heading into the Patsy Rendleman Invitational this week?
Yeah, and we've talked about that. We had a really good practice session on Friday last week. We talked about just being more intentional and having a system for sinking short putts. And that system is an individual thing, but it's what I saw and what Summer Smith, who's acting as our sort of player liaison and assistant coach kind of thing while she's rehabbing her from surgery. We both saw a lot of missed putts within 10 feet. And yes, you're going to miss some, but not to the extent that we saw. And it makes the difference in those maybe 3 shots per round from each player. That's going to make a huge difference at the end of the year in the rankings, and for us as a team making it to regionals.
Sure, and the 2 weeks of preparation from King to Patsy Rendleman is huge for the team, especially with such a busy month ahead.
Right.
So what is the team mentality kind of heading into the second tournament of the fall?
Yeah, I think it shows in the qualifying that we've had so far this week. The scores are good. They're improving. Once you get 3 or 4 weeks of qualifying scores under your belt, and I can look at the stats from that, you can start to see a comparison from previous years, and I can already see 2 to 3 shots difference from each player from last year's qualifying. So we're having more players, more depth in the team shooting in the 70s. So, the girls that are qualifying and going on and making the travel team, as I said to them, anybody on the team now can make the travel team. So we are guaranteed the players that are playing at their absolute best for each tournament, and that could reshuffle depending on how players, the ups and downs of golf, as we all know. So we are guaranteed the best players playing each week, which before we haven't had that luxury. We've kind of had to take the same players regardless of where they are in their game. So that gives us, for me, it's huge confidence, and it's, I think, for the team too. Yeah.
Sure, and that confidence within the depth is huge for this team because there's so much talent. And speaking of talent, the next invitational you're going up against is with region competition. So teams from North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So what are you looking for with the girls that are traveling that you hope that they see from such strong competition as the competition just keeps getting more heated going into the fall?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I would love to see a little bit more grinding for the score. It was certainly there, but I want to see it a little bit more. This is a golf course that we're going to, Salisbury Country Club, that we haven't played before. It's an old Donald Ross, so there's going to be some, a little anxiety maybe of not playing this type of course in a long time. It's where the guys won conference, so we've had a little bit of insight, and I know the guys team and the girls team have been talking about that. So it's going to be an old established golf course that, yes, we should on paper do very well. That's what I'm looking for. Whether we do or not, I just want to see some confidence transferring over, some, grinding out of scores. I want to see that a little bit more from players, that difference, in the rankings, your fifth place score, even though it doesn't count for that competition, it counts in our ranking. And we're still not as high as we could be in the ranking because of that fifth place score. So I want to see, even if you're not playing your best in a particular round, grind out as low as you can. That's kind of what we're looking for.
Absolutely, and it's going to be interesting to see how the team fares in the second tournament of 3 this month in October, so it's going to be quite the time. But good luck at the Patsy Rendleman Invitational, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
She's Suzanne Strudwick, I'm Danielle Whaley, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.